As the country's biggest export earner, expectations were high amongst the record 96,000, mainly small-scale farmers, that their tobacco would fetch the high prices of previous years and have them smiling all the way to the bank. Sadly though, while deliveries increased by 32%, the average price dipped 14% from $3.69 per kilogram last year to $3.18 this year. The season was under threat just weeks into selling, as some farmers called for a boycott over the low prices. But the impasse was quickly resolved.
Farmers came to understand that, they became aware that certain styles of tobacco were no longer in demand from our buyers, and it's because those types of tobacco can be bought for lower prices elsewhere in the world. The prices for the lower qualities of tobacco, the so-called filler grades, came down significantly, but the prices for the top grades has remained the same.
Tobacco sales traditionally provide relief to the local market, which is short of liquidity, and this year was no different, though some businesses that feed off the windfall felt the impact of the pricing woes.
The farmers were complaining about the prices they were hoping for, and the prices they got were different, so they could not afford to buy things like farming equipment. It was mainly foodstuffs that were in demand.
But authorities here still consider the season a massive success, especially given the late rains, which meant planting was delayed, and the heavy rainfall in January, which affected the quality of the crop. And despite the disappointment over prices, next year looks like it could equally be as good or even better, as the industry targets to break the 237 million kilograms record achieved in 2000.
We don't believe that there will be a reduction in the number of growers going into next year. From the seed sales that we're seeing, I think the demand or the eagerness to grow tobacco continues to be very high.
And hopefully, the growing number of farmers learn from this year's experience to improve their leaf quality. Meanwhile, the authorities here hope they can secure more funding so they can finance more farmers to grow more tobacco in order to reach that 237 million kilogram target, which they say can be done within the next 2 years. Farai, Mwakutuya, CCTV, Harare, Zimbabwe.